What's good, YouTube? This that dude Doom Train coming back at your screen by means of the World Wide Web. And today, for today's video topic, we're talking about, of course, you read the thumbnail, you read the title. We talk about Diablo 4. I mean, what you thought we were talking about? Something else? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. All right, here we go. So, talking about Diablo 4, this is going to be my review of the expansion for Lord of Hatred. And just want to give you guys some thoughts on what I thought about the season and, of course, the expansion, and just give you some pointers on my take on it. So, first of all, we're going to start with the good. So let's go over here to our Steam chart, and we can see here the game reached a new all-time peak, 64,518 at the time of this recording, and that was reached 7 days ago. So the game seems to be favorable in the eyes of many. A lot of people came back to try it. And I would argue that this is a low number because I'm pretty sure the majority of folks that play D4 on PC are playing it on Battle.net, which is directly through Blizzard. And that number is likely significantly higher, but I do not think that Blizzard releases that information, so we would never know what the exact number is. But even still, this is a milestone, and this says that people are enjoying the game. People did come back to give the expansion a try. Retention seems to be good as well. 24-hour peak at the time of recording, 61,020, just slightly short of the new all-time peak. So that is great. So another thing that they added with this expansion was two new classes, that being the Paladin and the Warlock. Now, the Paladin was already in the game. The Paladin came into the game back at the Game Awards 2025 if you pre-ordered the expansion. So if you pre-ordered the expansion, you already played the Paladin in the previous form on the older skill tree. There's a new skill tree in the game now for every class, so this is the updated Paladin that we're playing now. And then they also added the Warlock class. Now, the Paladin has been good the entire time, and it was extremely strong when it first launched back at the Shadow Drop at the Game Awards. And now it's kind of been toned down a bit. And since the Warlock is the new class, it's the class that's getting the love, but it's actually not, I would say, broken. Is it good? Of course. But I would argue every class is good. Every build on every class is not good, of course, but I would argue every class is good. But the Warlock is the new class. I've seen a lot of good and a lot of bad. People seem to be mixed about the Warlock. Some are saying that it's clunky to play. I kind of get what they mean, because there is some stop and go mechanics you got to play with the Warlock. I personally play the Dreadclaw build, and yeah, you kind of got to stop and hit your core button every few seconds to kind of kill everything. Same with Apocalypse. When you hit Apocalypse, you pause for a quick second. So I get why people are saying it's clunky to play, but I personally don't think it's that bad or that terrible. But with the overhaul of the game, every class seems to be doing good. And what I mean by the overhaul here, we'll go ahead and move into the game. I'll boot up my bar here, just load into the game here real quick, just to show you what I'm talking about. But Blizzard added a lot to the game. And one of the things that they added, of course, was the skill trees. So what I'll do, I'll go here and I'll pull up the skill tree, and you can see now it looks vastly different than what it looked like before. Before we had a ton of passive skills on the skill tree, and it was just, it wasn't as detailed as this. Now they have removed all passive skills completely off of the skill tree. They're gone. So every skill that you see on here now is something that you can actually map on your hotbar and actually use and play, every single one of them. And what they did is they took some of the older aspects out of the game that you used to be able to put on your gear via the occultist. They took that off, and they now basically put a good chunk of it on the skill tree here and added some new stuff. So every skill has, of course, the skill itself. Then you have like what they call the side branches, which is the two off to the side, where you only have two choices. And then this middle choice is going to be more of your transformative aspect. This is going to be something that's going to like either make it significantly more power or switch up how the skill works altogether. So they've done this for every single class. This is my barbarian at the moment, but they've done this for every single class. So in my opinion, this was a W change. I kind of love what they did here. It pretty much makes all of your older builds obsolete, though. So if you have any characters like on the Eternal server, I mean, unless you just keeping them for nostalgia, you may as well just go on and scrap them, because the build just completely it's not going to function the way that it did in previously. Now, Another thing that they did, and of course, just a quick note on this, while this is more complex for Diablo, Diablo is seen as the more approachable isometric ARPG. So this is not intimidating, but it is a little more complicated than it was before. There are other isometric ARPGs if you like things super complicated and you know from that aspect, but this is not that. This is much more approachable. Now, another good thing that they did that I personally enjoy, we'll go over here, is going to be the Talisman and Charm system. So this is another great addition that Blizzard has made, in my opinion. So long story short, you have your seal in the middle, and this open up your charm slots, and then you can of course put charms in each one. Now, when you start out, you're going to start out with just a little blue rarity magic charm, and it's only going to have, I believe, 2 slots. And as you continue to progress and progress in your character progression, eventually you'll start dropping a legendary, and there's even a mythic seal as well. I've never seen one, at least not yet. But there is a mythic seal as well. I've only got the legendary, but it allows you to open up all your slots, and these charms work like set bonuses. If you played D3, they basically took the set bonuses that you would have on armor, and they didn't like copy it one for one, but they kind of took that inspiration from D3. And now if you put a set of 2, 3, or 5 in your seal slots here, your charm slots, then you will be able to make a set bonus and get the benefits that you see on screen here. So I'm currently using this on my Barbarian, and I'm using a full 5 set bonus, and I got a unique charm coupled with it. So I think this is overall a W change as well. Definitely helps with character power, character progression. I think this was a great change. Another new thing they added, if we go over here, is the Horizon Cube. So the Horizon Cube basically introduces crafting to Diablo 4 now. So you can do all kind of stuff that you see here, add an affix, you can remove an affix, transfigure is basically sanctification that we got from the previous season, which allowed you to have the opportunity to make your gear more powerful at the cost of locking it down, which means you can't do anything else to that piece of gear besides changing what you have in any slots if available. That's all you can do. So of course, before you do that, you want to make sure your item is fully complete. You know, you've masterworked it, you tempered it, everything is done. If you transfigure before then, you have essentially break that item, and yeah, it's no longer any good. But there's a lot you can do here. They've added a lot of crafting, and you can make runes now. You can do amalgamations, which is taking like 5 to 1 of any material. You can do nightmare dungeon sigils. You can do tributes for Kiras. Merge them all in and either upgrade them. Nightmare sigils become escalation sigils, so you can do the 3 nightmare dungeons in a row, fight Astaroth. If you do a tribute for Kiras, it'll upgrade into the next rarity. So these rares, if I put 5 of the same one in here, it will become a legendary, and so on and so forth. So this is also another W change in my opinion. All right, now slight mention of the story. I am not a Diablo story lore nerd, geek, any of the sort. I do not know the full ins and outs of the story. For that, I recommend our YouTube resident, Mr. Riker. He made a story video, and I thought it was absolutely amazing. So if you're looking for depth in the story, I definitely recommend you go check out Riker. And I do not mean that in a derogatory way. I like Riker. He's a great content creator. He's been doing this Diablo thing for like a decade, if not longer. So he knows what he's talking about when it comes to the story and the lore. So once again, if you want the depth on that, I definitely recommend you go check Riker out. But as far as my quick take on the story, I thought it was good. I thought it was good. It's actually the best story that we've gotten since the game is launched. Better than the base story, and most definitely better than the Vessel of Hatred campaign story. That story, yeah, we won't even get into it. But yeah, the story, they did a good job, in my opinion. I think it's great. So now, that's all of the good that I have on the list. Now we are going to move over to the bad. And just a quick mention as far as the bad, par for the course. If you tried to play the game on League launch, yeah, it was cooked. it was cooked on League launch for sure. If you tried to get into the game, you probably had difficulty getting into it. And are you going to have difficulty getting in it with the next expansion? You can bet your left butt cheek, yeah, you're going to have difficulty. This is pretty much a normal thing for every seasonal ARPG. It is going to happen. So we did have to deal with servers. Thankfully, it didn't take that long. All right, now, this game, man, this game has so many bugs. I don't know if there's enough raid in the world in order to take care of all the bugs that this game has had on launch. I can tell you that up front.
Fly spray.
So here are the bugs that I encountered during my playtime. One I can probably show you live. Here, let me switch off of my barbarian, and I'm going to switch over to my necromancer. Now, I've made 3 characters. I started with Warlock, of course, the new class. I made a Necro as my second, and I made a Barbarian as a third. I'm probably planning to do more as time goes on. But here, let me go in game so you can see. Now, I switched over to my Necro. The issue that I've been having, and I'm just doing this live in the recording, so it may have not happened this time, but we're just going to see. So I'm going to go here, I'm going to go here, and yeah, my mercenary is not here. So this is one of the bugs I've been running into, and this has only been happening on my necromancer for some reason. But every time I load in with my necro, my mercenary, I got Alkin. Alkin's here is just fine, but I'm missing Rahir. So every time I boot up on my necro, I have to go back to the den and I have to rehire Rahir every single time. I don't know what's going on with that. Obviously that's a bug and that shouldn't be happening because he should be on my team pretty much the entire time. Now, bit of a story spoiler coming up here. If you have not completed the Lord of Hatred campaign, you may want to skip about the next 1 to 2 minutes of the video. If I remember, I'll put a timestamp on the video so that you can see where you can skip to avoid the next spoiler or 2 I'm about to bring out. But this is your spoiler countdown. So here we go. 3, 2, 1, and going. Okay, so there is the boss that you fight in the story. His name is Rathmus Chosen. You fight him in the archives. Now, I'm not sure if I killed him too fast or what. I have a YouTube short on my channel that you can refer to and watch it. But I was playing Warlock, and I killed him very fast. I killed him crazy fast. And one of the mechanics you have to deal with when you're fighting him at the end of the fight is he separates your soul from your body. And me doing this for the first time, I didn't know what to do. So that's what the YouTube short is. The very first time I did it, I didn't know what to do. So I was scrambling and scraping, trying to figure out what in the world is going on. And finally, I put 2 and 2 together after I believe Lilith tells you, hey, you need to get your soul back to your body. So I started to go towards my body. I finally re-merged with my body. And after I'm back in my body, I can re-engage in the fight. And I couldn't kill him. I couldn't kill him. I think the game bugged out, and I ended up having to restart it, which means I had to redo the entire dungeon. So yeah, unfortunately that sucked. Now, second bug that I run into, and this I have a clip of. I will show it to you after I describe it here. But here in Timmins, you can see right here in Timmins, usually when you come into Timmins, if you portal in, you'll portal in about right here. When you come out of your portal, there was an instance. I actually have 2 clips of this, by the way, 2 different occasions. One clip, I portaled out of a dungeon back here to Timmins, and the butcher is here. He's right up here by my stash, and he's just two-stepping. Just two-stepping. He's going north, south, and he just, he's stuck in Timmins, two-stepping. I don't know what's going on with that, but I will show you that clip now. And after I finished the Nightmare Dungeon, I portaled back here into Timmins. And when I came back, there was just a bunch of monsters in Timmins just chilling. There was a rare elite monster, and I think a couple of other of his gang or his pack just chilling here in Timmins, just hanging out with us. So yeah, I'll show you a short clip of that also now. All right, and welcome back. So those are a couple of the bugs, and that's also the end of the couple of bugs I had there. Now there's one more story spoiler bug. I mean, it's not really a story spoiler because you see this literally right at the beginning of the expansion, and I believe Blizzard also played some of this in like their press release. But you'll be able to see here. I'm gonna head on over to Reddit and show you. Shout out to this user, OKRough547. I got a good laugh out of this one. So this one made me crack up a little bit because he said, serious question, are these the same character? So this is a depiction of Akarat, like the main villain in the Lord of Hatred expansion. This is how he looks in game in the engine. And then if you click over here, you'll see this is how he looks in cutscenes. And this person, OK Rough, he is like, are these the same person? And if you are not playing the game or paying attention to the story, you would have no idea. This is definitely a case of the left hand not doing what the right hand is doing at Blizzard. I don't know. It's like the whoever handled cutscenes and handled the in-game character, just I don't think they saw eye to eye when this was done, because this looks completely different than this character right here. So I got a good laugh out of that. But yeah, I agree. This is like this is bad in my opinion. Like, I don't know what happened here, but I got a good laugh out of that one. All right, so next thing to talk about, and we will go back to the game for this. And I don't have anything to show you, but if you've been playing the game at all, especially with a warlock, you would know that visibility in the game is at an all-time low. The ground effects are killing people left and right. By the way, these ground effects are extremely powerful. I mean, if your build is not tanked up and caked up, you're probably getting one shot by the lunatics that the elites get spawned. They run to you and they explode, and boom, yeah, you're probably dead. And then there's another one where there's the sword and it just follows you. And it just follows you all around, and then it stops and it pounces down on you. If that hits you, yeah, you're dead. So if you're doing like a public event, like a Legion event, the main one that gets me is the one that is in, let me see if I can find it for you guys real quick. If I go to the map here, there's a Legion event. I believe it is it here? I believe it's here. There's a Legion event where you got to lead the balls right here in the middle, and you lead the one up the middle, and then it splits off, and you do 2 on the side and 2 on the side for a total of 5. That Legion event, if you are there with a warlock, you better be, I mean, dude, Ben Stein ain't got enough clear eyes.
Observe dry eyes, red eyes, symptoms for which science created clear eyes.
For the amount of visibility that like this issue needs to be resolved. If you're playing with an Apocalypse Warlock, or like you just can't see anything. So visibility definitely at an all-time low. We definitely need Blizzard to address that. So now another thing I want to talk about that's in the bad section. We'll go over to the skill tree again. So on here on the skill tree. Now, I cannot confirm or deny this because I personally pre-ordered the expansion and basically had access to everything since the beginning. But I hear through the grapevine that there are portions of the skill tree, specifically the ones that you get unlocked at, I think it's level 40. I hear through the grapevine that if you do not have the expansion, you do not have access to those portions of the skill tree. So if that is true, then I am agreeing with the crowd that is complete and total BS. You're basically locking out parts of the skill tree behind the expansion, and someone who may want to copy someone else's build will basically be unable to do so if they don't have the expansion. That's not a good feeling, and I'm gonna be honest, Blizzard is also not a good look. I'm not telling anybody what to do, but I'm just gonna mention that that's probably pretty scummy, and in my opinion, yeah, that's a thumbs down right there. Like, we probably gonna have to do something about that, Blizzard. But to the people that are suffering from that, if that's true, that sucks. I will admit that sucks. All right, next thing that's in the bad, in my opinion, world bosses. Ashava, Asmodan, the big guys you fight like every 3.5 hours. I don't think I have one up now. Take a quick peek. Oh yeah, world boss, 51 minutes. So yeah, the world bosses. These things definitely were not balanced for the new amount of power that we have in the game right now, at all. I mean, just a few seasons ago, I can't recall exactly what season, they buffed the world bosses, so they actually took longer than like 10 seconds to fight and defeat. They buffed it up to where, unless you had a build full of just top tier elites, it would take you about 1 to 3 minutes to kill a world boss. Now, I mean, we right back to where we started. These world bosses are down in like 30 seconds tops. And I'm talking about even if you got a gang full of people with D-tier builds, these world bosses just falling over and flopping. They just getting cooked. I mean, absolutely cooked. So we probably need to take another look at the world bosses. In my opinion, I enjoy fighting the world bosses. I know there's people out there that don't, but I enjoy fighting the world bosses. I actually hope that Blizzard adds more of them, to be honest. But yeah, they're just falling over. There's nothing to them no more. So they probably need to up that. All right. Next, performance issues. I'm sure it's not just me, but definitely having performance issues with the game right now. Now, just so you guys know my specs and what I'm cooking with, I am full team red, and what I mean by that is I have a AMD 9800 X3D CPU and a 9070 XT GPU. So pretty much amongst the best that Team Red or AMD has to offer right now. And after I play this game for about 2 to 3 hours, give or take, it just starts lagging and chugging. And dude, word on the street is that it's a memory leak. I do not know that. I can't confirm or deny. You know, I haven't done the research to test it, none of that. But I can tell you from experience that after about 2 to 3 hours of playing, if that, sometimes it's a little over an hour, the game starts to lag and chug, and you basically have to quit out of the game and restart it in order to be able to get, you know, that performance back that you've been lacking, you know, for the past little bit that you've been playing. So hopefully they can address that. I hear that this has been an issue for quite some time. Now, I will admit, I am a newer gamer to PC. I've been gaming for over 30 years, and almost the full amount of time I have been a console gamer. I've just recently gotten into PC gaming. Literally bought my rig that I'm using and recording this on now. November 2025 is when I bought it. And so I've been basically full PC since then. So I'm newer to this stuff. But I've heard through the grapevine this has been going on since launch. So if it has, Blizzard, please let's try to do something about that for the people, huh? That'd be nice. All right. Next thing that's in the bad in my opinion, and I'm sure there's probably nobody that's going to disagree with me here, inventory space. The inventory space has been improved, you know, since earlier in the season and in the game's life. You know, they splitting it all up between tabs and stuff like that. And, you know, that's great. That helps. They've even given us more stash tabs. So you go over here, we now have 7 stash tabs. And I'm going to tell you right now, it's not enough. It is still not enough, Blizzard. We appreciate what you've done. But with the new things that you've added in this expansion, it is just straight up not enough. I mean, I could probably get rid of some of this stuff. I'll admit, I probably don't need to keep all of this. But, I mean, if you look here, your boy is completely full here. Like, I'm cooked, dude. Like, whatever I can't keep on a character, I either have to break down something that could potentially be turned good, or I'm just going to be stuck with stuff in my inventory and having to deal with that. So yeah, I mean, I'm sure like 99% of people agree with me. We gonna need a little more Blizzard. So as soon as you can, please, the people will be thankful and grateful. And last but not least, and this is probably the elephant in the room, and this is something that I forgot to mention in the good, by the way. I do think the war plans in and of itself are good. Now the thing about war plans is nothing new per se. All of the activities that we do in war plans, we've already been doing. Your nightmare dungeons, your infernal hordes, it's all the same content that we've been doing pretty much the entire time. However, now with the war plans, they have introduced a skill tree for each of these activities now. So Tree of Whispers, Nightmare Dungeons, Hell Tides, you have a skill tree now so that you can kind of earn points and select nodes to enhance the rewards or the experience that you get from these. And the war plans just consist of you doing up to 5 of these events in a row. You do get to make your selection of which 5 you want to do. Okay, so that's the war plans. I do think war plans overall good addition. However, the bad thing about it is that this skill tree over here to the right side of the screen, this is not account wide. This is per character. And this, in order to max out each one of these and get all of these points, takes an extensive amount of time to do. This is not going to be quick unless you got a gang of folks, you and 3 other people, and y'all are just slamming your heads against the wall nonstop. Even still, it's probably not short. But I can tell you, for the average player who plays solo and they're just going through and they're trying to complete this right here is no joke. This takes forever. For this to not be account wide, in my opinion, is straight up asinine. I'm gonna just be honest. It is just straight up asinine. To each their own, but I think this is another one of those things where the majority of the people, 99%, if not 99.9%, would agree that this needs to be account wide. This being character based is just no bueno, no bueno in my opinion. But that's all that we got for the bad at the moment. So, final thoughts, in my opinion, as far as the Diablo 4 Lord of Hatred expansion. Obviously, if you've liked Diablo 4 before, this is just more Diablo 4. This is better Diablo 4. This is the best the game has been since its launch, in the opinion of many others from what I'm reading and seeing online. So if you've liked it before, I see no reason why you wouldn't like it now. Of course, get back in there, get back in Sanctuary, get to doing your thing. I would say if you're neutral on it, you're not the biggest Diablo fan, but you don't hate the game, I would say if it's possible, you can afford to do it, I would say give it a shot. I think if you're neutral on it, I think you may be pleased with what you see here. I've seen quite a few people online who's been, kind of on the fence about it. They bought the expansion, they played it, and they agree that, yeah, this is the best Diablo has been. It's kind of back. I mean, you got people who have been talking bad about the game, even in the content creator world. Shout out Rex, the blue hoodie guy. I'm more of a green cloak guy myself, but that's just me. But Rex, he's one of the bigger content creators in this isometric ARPG community. Even he's been playing the game. He's been talking, not the best about the game for quite some time. But even he's been playing the game since launch the entire time. Like, he's enjoying the game. He's made multiple characters. And that's just one person. There's been other content creators who have come back to the game, gave it a shot, and said it's good as well. So if you're on the fence, I would say most definitely. Now, if you're a part of Team D4 Bad, I'm going to tell you right now, just don't even bother. I don't know if there's anything that Blizzard can do to please and appease those who are on Team D4 Bad. I don't think there's nothing that can be done. So I would say just skip past, don't worry about it. Here in a few weeks, the game that you're probably looking forward to is going to be dropping their new league, and you'll be happy as a fat kid with a honey bun in his hand. So there you go. Now, another thing that I want to bring up, there is a patch coming out on Tuesday, and I'll go ahead and move on over to it here so you can see. But Diablo 4 patch notes, you see this all platforms May 13th. So they have made mention of these patch notes, but it's not coming into the game until the 13th. I am recording this video on the 10th. So I'm just going to do a quick scroll through. I'm not going to read or, go through anything. I will have this link down in the description below if you want to look at it and access it and see it for yourself. But you can see they are doing a lot here. So Blizzard is aware. They've been listening to feedback. They're going to get on top of it and get all of this stuff done, thankfully. I don't know that it's going to address everything that I discussed in this video, but you can see they are getting some things done. So kudos to Blizzard. Thank you for doing this. We are going to need a lot more of that. So, as far as the game goes and my reviews, anybody ever watched Gladiator? Are you not entertained? Of course you've watched Gladiator. If you're not, go check it out. Fantastic movie. My reviews are going to be done similar to Emperor Commodus. After a fight, Emperor Commodus came out, he put that thumb, he started neutral, and then, if it's the thumbs up, you're good to go, you're safe. If it was a thumbs down, it was probably over for you. So that's how I'm going to do my reviews. So as far as what I think about the Diablo 4 Lord of Hatred expansion, I'm going to give Diablo 4 Lord of Hatred a solid thumbs up. In my opinion, I think Blizzard cooked. There's still more work to be done. Don't rest on your laurels. We still got things that need to be done. But for a new expansion, for everything that they added, I think a lot of people have been spending a lot of time with the game. And of course, the Steam numbers that I showed earlier, it shows that we hit a new all-time peak, and the retention has been extremely strong. It's been almost 2 weeks since the expansion launched as of the recording of this video, and the retention is at like 95%. It's there. The people are showing that they are liking and enjoying the game. So Blizzard, kudos, great job. Let's go ahead and clap it up to Blizzard. You know what I'm saying? Excellent job, guys. You guys did good. So that's what I got for the Lord of Hatred expansion. So To those of you that watch, do appreciate you. Do thank you for stopping by. Of course, do all that YouTube jazz. You know, if you like it, give me one of these. If you dislike it, give me one of these. Comment down in the comments below what you think. Am I brilliant? Am I a bozo? What did I miss? Whatever you guys want to discuss, let me know. I am going to be playing D4 for probably the next week or two. Then I may move on to a different game. So if you're interested in seeing that, I'm on Twitch, twitch.tv/Doomtrain, spelled just how the YouTube name is. Come check me out and, you know, catch me live. Other than that, that's all I got. Thanks for watching. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. And you guys have yourselves a good one. Peace.